Welcome to this recording instructional video for SAM Textbook Project Word Module 1 Creating and Modifying Flyer. This will help you walk through this entire project. So starting off in whatever week you are in, you're going to click on Word Module 1. That will bring you to Cengage. Once it loads up, you're going to hit that Start button right there, and you are going to hit Download All. Make sure that you get 2 files. Sometimes it will not download the second file. You will need, there's the second file right there. Sometimes you may need to hit Accept, but you need to make sure you get both files downloaded. One is a JPEG, which is an image file, and then one is the Word document you are going to work with. Once you get that, you're going to go ahead and hit Open, or open it from your File Explorer, which is down here. It's like it's trying to open up something else. Open up that new Word document right there. You're going to make sure that you are using this on the desktop version of Word, not the browser version of Word. So if your file opens up here in your browser, you need to make sure and download it and open it on your desktop. So now that we have that, we're going to drag this over to the right. Go ahead and lock that to our screen so we can view it. And we're going to go over here and get to our instructions, which are right here. Once our instructions load, minimize that, and we'll lock that to this side of our screen. There you go. Now we've got instructions, and we've got our wonderful Word document right here. Lock that back again. Whenever you open your Word document, if it looks like this right here with no information below it, you're going to click on one of these tabs, and there's going to be a little pin button right there. You're going to want to click that. That'll lock those tabs in place. Alright, for this project, the first starting point, a lot of this stuff is just showing you how to start and create a new blank document. For starting and creating a new work document, you would hit the start bar, click on Word. In this case, I would have to select More Apps and go down and find my Word right there. I would click that. It would open up and give me an option to create a blank document. But since I've already got one, we're going to start with this one. In this case, we are going to start on 1-4C, and that's going to show you all of your view tabs. In this case, you can go to View. You can see that print layout is already done. We're going to follow every step. 1, 2, in this case just 2. So a lot of this is just wanting to verify what ribbons are actually active. In this case, it wants print layout active. Verify the print layout is selected. Yes, it is. Verify that the zoom level is 100. Zoom level 100 right there. And verify that the ruler is not activated. Let's see if I can find my ruler. Right there's my ruler. Ruler is activated. We do not want it activated currently. So there you go. Unchecked it. Moving on to my next page. Layout. Click on the margins. To display the margin gallery, it'll tell you where it is. In this case, it's in Layout Page Setup Group. So Layout Page Setup Group, we want margins. And in this case, it wants us to click Narrow. Click Narrow in Step 2. So we have done that. As you can see, Narrow is now selected. We're going to go on to our next page. We're going to start entering text in this document now. So, Step 1, it wants you to type, wash your hands. Capital letters, wash your hands. There we go. Enter to go to the next line. Now our insertion point is on the next line. Good job. We just learned how to type. Alright, next page. Click the View button. Click the page width. We want to go to View tab, Zoom group. We want to zoom to page width right there. There you go. Zoomed it in a little bit. And that's all on that page. Displaying formatting marks. In this case, you're going to go to, right here, Show Hide button in the Home tab, Paragraph Group. So, Home tab, Paragraph Group. It's a little, what I like to call a little backwards P. That is going to show, right here, it's going to show your formatting marks. So now I can see that I hit enter here, and my insertion point is on the next line. Alright, word wrapping. So in this case, press enter only in these circumstances. This is just letting you know when it's going to do it. So in this case, it went to the next line. If you kept typing, it would go to the next line automatically for word wrapping. Alright, so to word wrap text as you type. Here you go. So type the first sentence of the body. Copy. So we want to say washing your hands with soap and water can decrease outbreaks of foodborne illness because it can prevent spreading germs from your hands to food. And period at the end of it. Make sure we have everything spelled out properly. Alright, press enter for our next insertion point. Now our insertion point's on here. So you see when I typed, I did not hit enter for it to go to the next line. It automatically word wrapped it onto the next line. Hit enter, so now we look just like that picture. Alright, spelling grammar check. There are no steps in that one. We are going to go to our next spot, more typing. So to enter more text with spelling and grammar errors. In this case, we're going to be correcting some things. So you're going to notice here in a second that some of these words are misspelled. So wet hands with, we know that clean is not spelled with an extra E at the end, comma, running, but we are going to leave that so that we can fix that in future steps. Apply soap, period. And then next line. Lather hands and palms, backs, below nails, between fingers, around thumbs, by rubbing them together with the soap. Period. Perfect. Next line. It's got a lot of typing to do. Scrub hands for at least 20 seconds. So that's another misspelled word, but we know. We're going to end up having to fix that later. So rinse soap off of hands under clean running water. Great. And dry hands well using a towel or an air dryer. A little bit of grammar issues. Perfect. We are all typed up. And insertion point staying there at the end. Great. So next one. It wants us to fix things. So right click the word flagged, red wavy lines right here. So in this case we want to fix the word clean. Right click it. And we want clean. C-L-E-A-N. Easy enough. Another way, click the desired correction, in this case on the shortcut menu to replace. Clean in this case. To replace flag misspelled word in the document with it correctly spelled. So we already did that one. So in this one, this is going to be a little different because this is a newer version of Word. So in this case, it's not going to really show up. So right click the text flagged with double blue, which should be this right here, but it is not. So in this case, we're just going to delete that E, and we want it to be 4. 4 at least. 20 seconds. Next one. Let's see. Next one is off of. So it wants us to take to display shortcut menu, and it wants us to, I believe, get rid of one of these. Shortcut to replace the flagged word issue in the document with selected suggestion. So in this case, it wanted it to be off no of. So off hands. Rinse soap off hands. Alright, then we got a repeated word down here, which is our or. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. Now we have a towel or an air dryer. Great. Spelling fixed. Blank lines. In this case, you can see at the end, we have our insertion point. We have 1. Now we have our insertion point here, and here is our blank line. So, more typing. Now that we have our new insertion point with that break, I'm going to type in when, and we're going to start typing the rest of this. Using a tissue before, during, and after preparing food. Oops, no period. Make sure that I don't put periods when they don't show periods. So no period, after using or assisting someone in the restroom. No period again. After touching an animal feed or animal waste. So if you don't have to touch animal waste, after handling dirty equipment or garbage. And then we have our nice signature line at the bottom. You need to remember that this is a signature line because it will reference this line a few more times in the future. Foodworkers.com for additional hand washing tips. Great. And there's a period on down. Interesting. So everything looks like this now. Awesome. Now then, navigating the document, you can read through all these. For this video, we're just going to follow through the steps. So this one wants to show you how you're going to save the document for the first time. So in this case, File. And we are going to go to Home. We are home. This is the Backstage view. So we're going to go to Save As. In my case, it's not going to give me this because I've saved it to other places before too much. So in this case, I'm saving mine to Downloads. I usually always save mine to Downloads. We are going to name it this right here. This is what it wants it to be named. So SC underscore WD underscore 1 underscore wash hands fire unformatted. That's what it wants it to be saved. So now that I am in my folder, Downloads, I have my name correct, I am going to hit Save. Now that file is saved to my Downloads. See right there? Saved. Easy enough. Alright. Formatting paragraphs, eventually we will look like this, but right now we look like that. But we're going to format some paragraphs. Font size, no steps there. We are going to here. So in this case, if you are down here, see I'm at the bottom, it wants to let you know if you hit Control and the Home button, it's going to take you all the way to the top. Very handy if you have a lot of pages. So for this one, it wants me to be in the Design. So you can see our nice, wonderful Design tab. And it wants me to do Themes, Design tab, right there, Document Formatting. And it wants you to, right here, point to Gallery. So Gallery's right here. See how it changes it? So if I'm on here and then I hover over it, it'll change it to the Gallery theme. In this case, it wants me to click Gallery. So now we are in the Gallery theme. So if you hover over here, you'll see Gallery is activated. Gallery theme. Alright, click that Home button. So somewhere in the paragraph to be centered, in this case the headline. So our headline is up here. It wants us to center this headline. Alright, so to position the insertion point in the paragraph to be centered, click the Center button right there. Center. See? Now it's centered. Wonderful. Next page. Moving right along. So click somewhere in the paragraph to be centered. Once again, in this case the second paragraph. So the second paragraph right here, we want to center it to center the paragraph containing the insertion point. So you can click anywhere. Click it there, and then hit center, and it centers. Okay. Now then, multiple paragraphs. So what we want to do is move the pointer to the left of the line to be selected. In this case, the headline. So here's our headline again. Right, till the pointer changes to a right pointing. So what you want to do is, you see how I have a insertion point symbol right here, but then if I go left, it has a up pointing right arrow. If I click that point, everything to the right of that will get highlighted. And that's what we're trying to do. So if I go down here and click here, it's going to highlight that whole line. I want the top line though. So you can't click it. If you click here, it's just going to put your insertion point there, but if you click there, it'll highlight the whole thing. Yep, there you go. Just wants to show you how to highlight it. So with the text selected, once again, we're going to come over here, highlight our text. It wants you to click the font size arrow, which is right here. Display the font size gallery, and it wants it to be 36. So we're going to click there. Go to 36. Nice, gigantic, wash your hands. Looks just like it. Yep. Now to increase the font size. Alright, change the font. Now then, we want to change those so while it's selected, still selected, right? Click the font arrow, Home font group, should be this arrow right here, and it wants us to find Rockwell Extra Bold. Point to it, and then we will click on it. So Rockwell, we're going to go here. We're looking for, I have to go way down. Rockwell, way down here. If you've used it a bunch before, it'll show up top. But Rockwell Extra Bold. Click down, and now we're there. With the text selected, select the Change Case button. So we want to change our case, which will be right up there. So once again, Home font group. In this case, it wants the Change Case button. Click uppercase. We are going to make it uppercase. So make sure that we're selected. We're going to hit there, and we want uppercase. Change the whole thing to uppercase. Wonderful. Alright, with the text selected, still on our top title, we want text effects. So this will be a little bit more confusing. So in this case, you want to make sure you point to the correct one. So and it wants us to click that as well. So right here, point to fill white. So here's our text effects. it wants us to point to this one right here, and you'll notice it pops up this. We want to make sure that it reads exactly what we're trying to select. So in this case, it wants us to say white, outline red, accent color 1, glow red, accent color 1. You have to make sure you select the exact one that it wants. So clicking that one. Now we are on right here, white, outline red, accent color 1, glow red, accent color 1. Perfect. Alright, shading paragraphs. So click somewhere in the paragraph to be shaded, and it wants the headline again. So headline, we're going to shade this headline. Click on the shading arrow, which is going to be right over here. If you hover over it, it should tell you shading. Right. And then we are going to click on this, and it wants us to select purple accent 4, which should be purple accent 4, darker 25%. So not that one. Purple accent 4, darker 25%. That's what we want. Click that one. We are highlighted. So now we are going to be, we want to move the pointer into the paragraph to be selected. Mouse button, entire paragraph. It wants us to select this entire paragraph. So in this case, you're going to 1, 2, 3. Highlights the entire paragraph. So you have a choice. You can either go here and only select one line, but if you triple click, 1, 2, 3, it will highlight the entire paragraph. Change the font color. We are still selecting that one with the paragraph selected. Click the font color. So font color is going to be right here. Should say it. Let me click back on there. Font color right there. It wants us to have Indigo Accent 5. Let's see. That's purple. Indigo Accent 5, 25% darker. That's the one. Right. Change the font color on that one. Now with selected text once again, we are going to up that font size. So we want this entire first paragraph again, right? Just like that. We want to click 22 in the font size gallery. So on this case, with the text selected, click the font size arrow. Give me this one, and it wants 22, 22, 22. Now, if you click anywhere in here, it'll get rid of that highlighting, so we're not selecting that paragraph anymore. Alright, changing zoom. Zoom in and out. Repeatedly click the zoom in and out buttons. So our zoom buttons, once again, it should show you right there. Zoom button down at the bottom, you can kind of see mine. If I move it to the right, move it to the left, hit the little mouse button, back to 0, or page width. There you go. That's our zoom drag bar button down here in the bottom right. Selecting multiple lines. Left of the first paragraph. We want it to be here is the first paragraph. Right? So, scroll as necessary so that all text can be formatted and displayed on the screen. We can see all of our text. So, while the pointer is right pointing arrow, drag downward to select all lines to be formatted. It wants everything except for the last line. So we're going to drag that down. Now we've highlighted everything. Now if you look here, if I click here into it, it's not going to get that first one. It's going to mess up. So you want to look for this right pointing arrow. Click, drag it down. And we've selected all those lines. To change font size of the selected text. So we've got them all selected. It wants us to click 20 in the font size. So it wants these to be 20. And then we want to click anywhere to remove our selection. Now it's bigger. Everything but the end. number list. Scroll to position the next format. We'll move the pointer to the left of the first paragraph. This case will be right here. It wants this one. Let's see, what does it want? First paragraph, the second pointer changes the right pointing arrow, drag downward until all paragraphs that will be formatted as number lists are selected. So in this case, all the way to dry hands will be getting numbered. So, numbering button. Numbering button is going to be right up here. Alright, so Home tab, Paragraph Group. So we are in the Home tab. In the Paragraph Group, right here is Numbering. And it wants us to click the numbering button. So we're just going to hit once. And we have our wonderful numbers now. See if it's going to have us do it to the second line as well. Not yet. Now, then it's going to show us how to undo. So, in this case, your undo button's up here. Click the undo button to reverse. We're back to normal again. Click the redo button. Don't forget it, because we definitely still want us to have numbers at the end to reverse it. So, that little forward button is the redo. Brings that last step back. Alright, bullet a list of paragraphs. So in this case, we want to take this down here again. So the second paragraph on down, click the bullets button. Bullets button is going to be right there. Place a bullet character at the beginning of each selected paragraph. There you go, bullets. And that looks just like this. Click anywhere in the document to remove that selector. Alright, we are not doing auto formats, so to remove hyperlinks. Alright, so this bottom down here. Not currently a hyperlink, and I believe my F is supposed to be a lowercase f right there. Alright, so we want to right click the hyperlink. We want this right here to be our hyperlink. At this point, it is not a hyperlink yet. So, right click. We want to link. This will turn it into a hyperlink, but then it wants to remove the hyperlink later. So, right click, hyperlink. In this case, the web address display shortcut menu if you use a touchscreen. Show context button. Click remove the hypertext to remove the hyperlink format from the text. If the text remains colored, then underline change color. We do not want that to be a hyperlink. If it was a hyperlink, there would be an option here to remove hyperlink. Alright, so now we look like that. Wonderful, but we want to center it. So it wants us to select that line, click somewhere in the paragraph to be centered, in this case the signature line. We want to click center right there. Now we have centered our signature line. Getting real good at centering things. Now then, mini toolbar is going to be your what happens when you right click on things or hover over them. So in this case, move the pointer to the left of the signature line, and it wants us to click on the font size arrow. So left of the signature line, you're going to hover over it, right click, and this is our mini toolbar right down here. It wants it to be 18, so point to 18 in the file size and click 18 to change it. So we want this to be 18. With it still selected, we want to change the font color as well. So we want the font color to be indigo, dark indigo, accent 5, darker 25. Where's our indigos? We want accent 5, darker 25. That one right there. Perfect. Click anywhere to deselect. Alright. Moving right along to select a group of words. Let's see, so in this case, position for immediately to the left of the first character of the text you want to select the A in the word. So in this case, it wants us to go right there. Drag the pointer to the right and select edit. So it wants us to drag it to the right and select all of those. Additional hand washing tips. Now to underline text. Right, so we've got that selected. Click the underline button to underline it. So right here, and our underline button is right there. It wants us to click underline. Now we have a nice underline. Italicizing, same thing. So in this case, it wants the word prevent. If necessary, scroll to the top. We need to find our word prevent, which is right here. We highlight it, click italic. A little I up here, italic. It may not look like it is, but it is italic now. The way you can tell is you can click on it and you'll see that the I is highlighted. Alright, so scrolling, going to wet, select the first word to format, in this case the word wet. Click that right there, so I just get the word wet. Actually, it looks like it's fine to triple click, so we get that one word. While holding the control, it wants us to select the next word. So, in this case, double click the word lather. So we're going to hold down the control button on your keyboard and double click lather. See, it highlights lather. And we want to control and get each one of these first words. So scrub, rinse, dry. All I'm doing is holding down control and double clicking each word. Next page is going to have us modify those. So with it selected, we want to select bold. So these are all selected. Hit this B, bold. Easy enough. Alright. Saving a document once again. So File, Save As, in this case, My Documents, this PC, Downloads, and I'm saving it as right here, formatted, saving it over the exact same one. So if I drag this over, I can see that's the one that is saved. This is the one I'm saving. It's going to save it right over top of it. So another option, let me back up here. Another option for that is you can hit that save button up here. If you've already saved it, you can click this save button right there. This is just going to show you your information where you're saving it. This is the name of it. This is where it's saved to. Inserting a picture. So centering a paragraph first. Click somewhere in the paragraph. So make sure. This did not want us to actually insert it yet. This is just saying what it's going to do. So in this case, click somewhere in the paragraph to be centered. In this case, the blank line. So that wants this line right here to be centered. Click center. So now that line is centered. That way our picture goes in the center, not to the side. Insert a picture. If necessarily, you're going to click that insertion point right there. We want to make sure that we're putting it right here. Click the pictures button. Insert. Illustrations. Pictures. And we want to insert picture from this device because I've saved that picture from here. So this device, I save all my stuff to downloads. And we're going to select this washing hands JPEG. Look at that. It's a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. Let's see. Now then, now that we've got our picture, we're going to change the zoom to one page. Alright, so click the View tab. one page button, which should be in the View tab Zoom group. So zoom one page. There you go. And you can see all of it. Right. Be sure the picture is still selected, which it is. If you have this little picture format tab up here, then you have the picture selected. So we want to drag the size handle inward until the lower left-hand corner of the picture is positioned approximately, and the entire flyer contents fit on a single page. So we are going to drag the sizing handle diagonally. So drag my picture until everything fits on one page. There you go. Do not move it. So release the mouse button to resize the picture, which in this case should have a height of about 2 inches and a width of about 3 inches. Alright, here is a way that we are going to work that. You have to do this way. So we have our picture selected right here. And go to picture format. See these nice numbers here. Now you're going to type in, it wants it to be a height of 2. So we'll make this 2 inches. And you're going to have a problem here. There you go. Now if you have a problem and you cannot change these, every once in a while you'll hit it and this number will change to a 3.08 or something. You're going to click this drop down and you want to change lock aspect ratio. You'll turn that off so that you can change the size to what you need it to be. But in this case, 2 inch, 3 inch works perfect. Alright, sure the picture is still selected. We're going to be formatting that picture a little bit, so picture is still selected. We want to go to Picture Format tab, Picture Styles, and we want to expand. For this one, point to snip diagonal corner. Let's see if we can see our styles. We want to snip the corner. Which one is our snip the corner? That looks like snip the corner. Snip diagonal corner white. That's what we want. And it wants you to click it. So we're going to click. Perfect. Alright, picture still selected. Do a picture border on it now. Now then, picture format again. In this case, we want to, with the picture selected, click the picture effects button. If you make this big, you will see that you can see the words a little bit better. But in this case, I need to see the instructions as well. So, we are going to, right here, picture effects. And we want to point to shadow, point to perspective upper, so which is going to be perspective upper left. Click perspective upper left. So we want perspective upper left. There you go. We got this nice shadow behind it now. Alright. And then, let's see, click somewhere in the document other than the picture, just anywhere. Notice picture tab disappears, so we don't have that picture format tab anymore. And we should be good. We are not doing this just yet. Now then, we are not there yet. Let's see. Alright, so changing theme colors. Click on the Design tab. Colors button. You want to point to blue 2. Blue 2 in the colors, and we are going to click blue 2 on the colors gallery. There you go. Changed our colors for the entire form. Add a page border. So click on the page buttons, design tab, page background group. Let's see, page background group. We may have to make this bigger to see that. Oh, page background group right here. All right. Uh-oh. Right there. Page background group. Page borders. Click box. So we want box. Scroll if necessary and click the third border style from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, it wants this border style right there. Yep. Borders and shading elements, select the border style, click the color area arrow. So color. And we are going to select turquoise. Let's see, color. Turquoise, accent 3, darker 25. It likes its darker 25, doesn't it? Darker 25, there you go. And click OK, and that will put it there. And you've got that turquoise border coming together, looking like a flyer. Alright, so changing spacing before and after paragraphs. Position the insertion point in the paragraph to be adjusted. In this case, the paragraph containing the word how. So we want how. Click the layout button. And then spacing after. So we want spacing after. We want that to be 0. That'll go down to 0. There you go. So let's see how our spacing after the word how has moved down. That's what we want. Right there. We're good there. Position the pointer, insertion point. Next paragraph, in this case, when. So we're going to when. Spacing after. Once again, it wants it to be 0. 0. Now then, position it to be adjusted to the paragraph containing the signature line. Signature line, it wants that one to be different. Let's see, layout paragraph, and it wants as many times as necessary so that the 12 point is displayed in the spacing before. So we're going to leave 8, and we're going to go up to 12. Yep, increase spacing before it. Almost there. So, changing document properties. In this case, I'm going to click File, Open Backstage View if necessary. Click the Backstage View to display the info screen. There's your info screen right there. Click on the right of the Comments property. So, right over here is our Comments property box. And we want it to say CIS 101 assignment. I know that's not our class, but that's what it wants us to say. And then click the back button. So right here, back button. We have that in there. So if you want to check just to make sure there, you can see it is there in your info screen. Almost there. So we are saving the document again. In this case, I know where it's saved, so I'm just going to hit that save button up there. Now then, actually, we want to change it. So click the save button, and we want to save it as a different file. So file, save as, same thing, putting it in downloads. This time it wants it to read formatted. So you're going to get rid of all this right here, washing hands flyer, and we want it to be formatted. Perfect. Save that. Alright. Now then, we want to close the file. We can close it. Alright. So, in this case, right up here, it wants us to click File, Written, and then Close. So we would hit Close. Now then, may be it. We already know how to open our document. Let's see if it has us changing anything else in here. It wants us to change that view back. So view, zoom, page width, page width. There you go. We are now page width once again. Now it wants us to insert text in an existing document. So we have this document, it is existing. We have created it a while ago. In this case, it wants you to type then and then press spacebar at this point. So we are looking for position insertion point where the text should be inserted. The A in apply. So right here. And then apply. So and cutting and copying, delete or cut. So home rather than double click the word. So double click then. We are in the home section. And it wants us to click cut. So in this case, cut right there. Cut it, disappears. Copy and paste. So we want to copy and paste. Right here we want to select clean. So double click to select clean. Click the copy button. Copy right there. Position the insertion point. So number 5, dry hand using A. We want to go down here. And we want to click the paste button. Right there. Well, so, nope, excuse me. How we want to do clean and then clean. Yep, with a clean tell paste. Now we have clean here, clean there. Perfect. Displaying paste options, which would be this right here. Extra paste options. Moving text. So second bullet. Do this one right here. We're gonna select that. Let's see here. Does not. It wants us to move it there. There you go. All you do is, if you want to do that again, you have it highlighted, hold down that left mouse button, bring it up here to that insertion point, and there you go. Moved it. Basically swapped them around. So once again, we can control home to go up to the top. Read button on the status bar is going to be down here. So web layout, print layout, read mode. It's going to bring you into full screen. You do not want that. Print layout view. So click print layout view and these on the status bar, which will be once again it'll be over here. Alright. Web layout, print layout. which is where we want it. Save the document again. Always like saving. Don't forget to save. And print the document. So to print a document in this case, we will not be printing, but in this case, File, Backstage, and Print. And you would set up your printer according to what printer you're setting it up to. Or you could print it to PDF if you wanted to. You could just be changing that, printing it to PDF. Alright, Word help. In this case, it's showing you how to use the search box to do this top button right here. In this case, it wants you searching for the word margins. Point and click to adjust margins right there. Or you could see down here, you could get some help. Right. Help pane, easy enough. You can go on here and ask for some help, just on different subjects. And then we are done for this assignment. Now then, the important thing, obviously, you want to be able to turn this assignment in. So we're going to hit this nice X button right here. Let's go back to our Microsoft Word. We are, let's see, where's my, Alright, we want to be back here, so we're going to close that one. We want to be back here. Now you're going to notice right here, save work to Sam. This has to be saved. Your document has to be saved exactly how it is here, or else it will not save. So in my case, I'm going to select, go to my File Explorer. It'll be the bottom tab. Open that up. We're going to go to Downloads, and I'm going to find that file that I just worked on. Should be the most recent one. Click once, click one more time, so that it puts me in this little spot right here. And I'm going to type it in exactly how it wants it. In this case, Craig Howard. So now my form reads SCWD1 washing hands flyer formatted _ Craig Howard. Perfect. It will not let me change it because I still have it open. Close that. Now we can try again. There you go. It is done. Now, another way to change that name would be to right-click on it, go to Properties, and right here you'll be able to click in here and change the name as well. Once that is done, you can either drag it over or you can click here, find that file, double-click, it should load, and you can hit Submit. Once you hit Submit, there will be a graded summary right here, which you can click on, which will tell you exactly what you got wrong, if anything, and your grade. And you can go back and fix it if necessary. So that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you had a good time and learned a lot. And see you on the next one.